the starter going forward? And, does this game do anything to change your thinking in terms of that?
I think it's, Ken earned the starting job out of camp. Ken came out this week and had a great week of practice. Mike's done well in that role also, and I'm proud of Mike for that. Ken got hurt in the first half of this game. We got to get a feel for the extent of the injury, and so I don't feel it necessary right now to project who would be starting next week. I think we got to see what the extent of Ken's injury is, and I will say that I'm proud of both guys. I'm proud of the way Ken over 3 weeks, really a month, stayed engaged and prepared himself to come back. The way he battled in practice and really advanced his game this past week. And then obviously I'm very proud of the way Mike Wright prepared himself. Both guys need to prepare as the starter. And, Mike's a guy who's done a really nice job for us and didn't play in the first half and came out in the second half and strengthened the other 10 players on the field and did a nice job leading the offense. So I think that's where I would focus right now, just being, pleased with the way Mike finished the game. We're going to get a feel for what Ken's injury is, what the extent of it is, and we'll figure out the best way to be competitive next week as we go.
Aria?
Is there an injury or anything with Will Sheppard?
So we had, up to 12 guys this week, late in the week, that came down with the flu. And so, unfortunately, Will was one of those guys that missed practice late in the week, missed a couple days. That's not something that we can control, but something that happens. And we look forward to him getting back healthy. And he was out there, he was available tonight, but just didn't feel like it was fair to him to throw him out there. And also, we had, Amir has had a really great the last few weeks, and had a nice week of preparation and felt like he was going to give us a great chance to be competitive tonight. And we're proud of Amir for the impact he had on the game. So Will Sheppard remains one of our most explosive weapons on offense, and we'll continue to use him as such. Just was sidelined with the flu this week and didn't feel like he had the opportunity to prepare to a level to play tonight.
Chris?
Yeah, Clark, 2 questions here. First, you said it affected about 12 guys with the flu. How many of them didn't play or maybe had their participation limited directly because of that? And can you give some names if you don't mind?
Chris, just for the sake of, I'd rather not go into specific names, but I will tell you that two didn't dress. We had a couple guys that early in the week that had the symptoms, but didn't actually test positive for the flu. That's where the 10 to 12 comes in, because we kind of started seeing it earlier in the week. It hit us harder, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We had a number of guys in the defensive secondary that battled through it. I'm proud of the way this team toughed through that. I mean, there were guys that were, counted on tonight for a lot of snaps that, laid in bed all day yesterday. So there's some toughness embedded in that we're proud of. I do think that in some ways, particularly early on where we were struggling tackling and closing some spaces on the perimeter on defense, I think missed time in preparation affects you. But again, I was proud of the way the guys battled, and I'm glad that we're through that bug.
Second question there. DaVon was down on the field for a bit. What's his status? How was he feeling after he got up and started coming off the field?
Yeah. So won't go into specifics. We'll have an update on that on Tuesday. Need to get with the training staff to know the extent of the injury. I will say that he wasn't able to return, but he was on the sideline. I heard for Davian, he's a guy that's been, part of the heartbeat of this team from the start. And, when he hurts, we hurt, and it was hard to see him out there. And Davian's tough. He's tough-minded. He cares a lot about what we're doing here. And, if he's able, I know he'll be back as soon as he can. He's a tough kid that wants to be out there with his teammates. But we'll have more on that on Tuesday.
Aria?
What did you see out of Mike today when he did come in the second half? And also, how much notice did he have that he was going to have to be going in because of, Ken's injury?
Well, everything in the game, it happens, quickly. So, we were aware that Ken was getting looked at halftime, and weren't sure of the extent of that. Coming out of the locker room, it was, it was communicated in the first series on defense there that he wasn't going to be available. But I think Mike had set his mind to be ready. I mean, look, Mike was ready from the first snap. So that's what's impressive, is that, he prepared as though he was a starter. And so when he was called, he was ready to go out there and get it done. I thought he made good decisions with the ball. I thought he was able to strengthen the other 10 players on the field. He didn't take it all on his shoulders. He threw some balls into tight spaces and got completions, and also had a couple of touchdown passes too. So, a lot there to build upon. And again, I just have a lot of respect for him for being ready when his number was called.
Bobby?
Clark, since you had the extra week to prepare and things, didn't go well in the first half, what didn't translate from that preparation specifically in the first 30 minutes of the game?
Well, we weren't able on defense to get wins on first and second down. We knew that was going to be a big deal coming in. And some of that's going to be execution based. So some of that's going to be, when we were blitzing, the intensity, the twitch, the speed of our movements. I felt like Kentucky's offensive line did a nice job getting us cut out and getting a run game established. Some of that's going to be relative to closing spaces on the perimeter again. So, where our eyes are and how we eliminate access throws or throws into space. We had the drive there on offense where we got sacked, took a loss, and then we shanked a punt and gave them a short field. And I think it was two throws and touchdown. So explosive plays that hurt us. So, as far as, what we needed to do against Kentucky was win on first and second down to set up third downs. When we got them to third down, I thought we performed pretty well. Where they're really good is, they have a physical run game. They're good in their offensive line, and we allowed for them to get rhythm in the first half, and it made it hard on us. So that was disappointing. In terms of the offense, again, I think it's maybe we showed a little bit of rust coming out. We lost that disciplined play that had been kind of defined our offensive success when we've had it this season. And the pre-snap penalties hurt. We would get first down and turn around and be 1st and 15. We had plays called that were going to be chances for chunks, design chunks. And, when you self-sabotage by, false starting, just it hurts you. And then credit Kentucky for calling a pressure into a naked. And it's one where we just need to eat it probably, but, we're not at the point as a program where, we can have turnovers go for touchdowns and overcome that. And so I want to give Kentucky a lot of credit. Robbie, you ask about what happened in our extra week and why it didn't come to fruition. I think our coaches did a good job of identifying areas that we needed to be focused on. But we missed in the translation from the focus to the execution. And that is accountability across the board, starting with me, but also want to, credit Coach Stoops and his team for being ready and playing a good game and executing their plan at a high level.
I vaguely remember, this would have been really early in the season, you saying that Amir not playing much was sort of a practice habits thing or something along those lines. Is that accurate? And what did he show, to maybe get back in the mix, in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. So, we take practice, and practice is important to us. We want to see the evidence of focus and execution and being in the right positions and making the plays. We're not going to leave it to chance and just assume that the play is going to be made on Saturday. Like that's not how we set our team up. And so, Amir has tightened down his preparation habits, and he's come out in the last 3 weeks and been a really dynamic player on the practice field. He's made plays on the ball. He's focused, and his attitude's been great. I mean, there's just so much growth there, outside of the game that, we felt really confident and comfortable with him on the field today. And obviously our quarterbacks felt confident and comfortable going to him with the ball. And that chemistry is built in preparation. And so these are, even our old players are still young players. They're still early on their career. They're still growing and evolving. They're still growing and evolving in this program. And we never give up on anybody. And we've kept coaching Amir, and Amir's kept coming out there and taking his swings, and it's clicking into place for him. So hopefully we see a continued ascension from him. And as we do, we'll see his continued involvement in the offense.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, guys, we got Vanderbilt quarterback Mike Wright. If you have a question, raise your hand, please. Go ahead, Robbie.
Hi, Mike. From your perspective, I guess, what do you think you guys did better offensively in the second half compared to the first half? I know you weren't on the field in the first half, but obviously you were engaged in the huddles and offense and everything like that.
Oh, no, I think just in the first half, we were moving the ball on offense. I think what got us off schedule was ourselves. So just self-inflicted wounds. So I think in the second half, we just kind of cleaned it up and just focused on that. I mean, pre-snap penalties has nothing to do with the opposing team. That has to do with us. So I think, once we just kind of cleaned that up, we saw more positivity in the offense.
Do we have any more questions for Mike? Robbie, one more. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, what did you see from Amir tonight? And do you think he is, Coach Lee said that he has improved in practice throughout the season. Have you seen that?
Oh, no, yeah. I think Amir is a great player, and Amir is a great teammate. And, he's been practicing really well over these past 2 months, just coming and watching extra film, and just his mentality over these past 2 months has really improved, and it's helped our team improve, as well. And so I'm proud of him. As a matter of fact, I'm proud of all of our seniors. I mean, today was an emotional night for them, so it became an emotional night for me. I'm very appreciative of all of them, and, how they treated me ever since I stepped on this campus. I mean, I can't put into words how appreciative I am. So I know that was kind of an extension of your question, but I just had to make sure I said that too.
Aria?
What was kind of working for you on those 2 touchdown drives that you led in the second half?
Oh no, I mean that's just the game plan. I mean that was the game plan. That was what we had going into it, and all it was just about us executing. I mean that's pretty much all it is. You just the receivers and the O line and running backs, they make my job easy. All I gotta do is just give it to them, and they'll make the play. And so just like those 2 touchdowns right there, Chris Pierce had an amazing catch. Amir had an amazing catch. The O line blocked amazing. So I mean it's just all about execution. That's just part of our game plan.
Mike, that's all we got for you. Thanks, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we got Vanderbilt wide receiver Chris Pierce now joining us. Anybody have any questions for Chris? Robbie?
Hey, Chris, what did you think led to the offensive struggles in the first half when you guys kind of fell behind big against them?
Yeah, it may be a little repetitive because it's true. I mean, we're not the place that we can self-sabotage and also be successful. We can't play the opponent and also play ourselves. And that was the biggest thing for us in the first half. Just like pre-snap penalties, it wasn't anything they were doing specifically. We were sabotaging ourselves, and that didn't let us get the rhythm that we needed to be a successful offense. So that's something we're just going to have to work at this week and each preceding week, and I'm sure we will.
All right.
That play at the very end of the first half where, you were in the end zone defending a Hail Mary and got the interception. What was that like for you? Was that something that you had practiced at all?
Yeah, so we actually did practice it. I forget what day specifically, but a Hail Mary at the end of the half of a game was something we covered. This wasn't something we just sporadically thought of. Yeah, we practiced it during the week, and actually picked it in practice too. So it came to intuition.
Congrats on that interception, Chris. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.